The Actors Studio informed me as a director because they were hell-bent on the truth. They could care less about looking good, and I came up at a time where actors were actors. They were not, it wasn't the aesthetic symmetry, perfection thing that they're hunting now. And, you know, it's almost as if the more generic you are, the further a career goes at this point. And everyone, and that has to do with marketing, running the industry, that they want to identify, like, that's me, as opposed to really, because I want to talk to the most intriguing person. I want to see the most, like, sort of off and busted kind of face or whatever. So, you know, when I came up in my class, the very first class that I was in, Shelley Winters was my teacher in the Actors Studio, and so we sit down and you sit on the floor and she's there and she's telling you stories, whatever, and she says, raise your hand if you will not die for this. You know, we all sit there and she said, if you're willing to die as an actor, like this is what you're going to do and nothing else, and you were willing to die doing this, raise your hand. So like me and like 4 other people raised our hand. And we thought you know, we for sure was like, we can get our asses beat. And she asked everyone else to leave. And she was serious. She made them get up and go home, and they were not welcome back. And she said, we don't need you. The industry doesn't need you, film doesn't need you, acting doesn't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you if you're not willing to die for it. And whatever it is, it could be plumbing, it could be whatever you want, but you got to be willing to die for it. So that was my first class. And it progresses. Like, she used to have, she'd walk around with scissors in her back pocket. And a lot of people know this, but if you touched your hair when you were acting, she would walk over and cut your hair off. Hence the ponytail. You see me like all the time with like, I don't touch my shit at all, but it's training. And, you know, but she was opposed, especially for women, she was opposed. And, you know, of course, when I say actor, I mean women. I don't gender break it. It's inclusive. But she was so disgusted by the notion that a woman would push some pedestrian aspect of her sexuality for, in a victim sense. So if you were in a scene and you would ask me something and I would do the turned head and the thing and I would sort of become 12 years old. You know, she was more like the Tilda Swinton kind of school and just like eye to eye, toe to toe. You know, the axis doesn't move. Now, that's obviously not to say that there's a character in a moment that I might be playing something and that's part of what they do, but not me. That's not in my tools. So I think that the Actors Studio informed me with directing is that I really love actors, so I try not to interfere with them. I don't mess with them. I enjoy and love what they bring. I'm curious what they have to offer that I did not see and could not possibly see. I'm interested in allowing them to flourish before my eyes. You know, I don't see them as some sort of carbon of a thing that I need to get. They're not like a point towards a destination.